All right, everybody, you ready? Because today we are going deep into animal intelligence.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
A fun one.
it is. And, we think of ourselves as like the most intelligent species on the planet. But
We do.
it's like the more we learn about animals, the more we realize that they're really smart.
They are.
And we've got a really cool translated video excerpt that we're going to be looking at today.
Awesome.
And it explores how we measure animal intelligence.
Yeah.
So how do we even start to measure that?
Right.
Like I remember learning about brain size being important.
Yeah, brain size was definitely like the metric for a long time.
Right.
Scientists used a thing called the encephalization quotient,
Uh-huh.
which is basically like a ratio of brain size to body size.
Okay.
So, like humans, we score a 7.5 on this scale.
Okay.
Dolphins get a 5.3, dogs are around 1.2, and cats score 1. But it turns out this method has some flaws.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Because a larger animal would have a larger brain.
Exactly.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's smarter.
No, not at all.
Right.
Body weight can fluctuate. And plus, this method really only works for mammals.
Right.
It doesn't really account for like the huge diversity of like a whole animal kingdom. Like some spiders, for example, have brains that make up 80% of their body mass.
Whoa.
That's huge.
That's a lot of brain.
Yeah.
Okay, so if brain size is not it, then how do we figure out which animals are really the brainiest?
Well, scientists have developed some really clever tests.
Okay.
One of the most famous ones is the mirror test.
Okay.
And that looks at self-recognition.
Got it.
So they'll place a mark on the animal, like somewhere, it can't readily see it.
Okay.
And then they give the animal access to a mirror.
Okay, so if it sees the mark and it like tries to touch it or remove it, then it means that they know.
Exactly. It demonstrates that they're aware that that reflection is them and not just another animal.
Got it.
So all great apes except gorillas pass the mirror test. But it's really fascinating. Like some species that you wouldn't expect also show signs of self-awareness.
Like who?
Like I'm picturing like a dog staring at a mirror, just like clueless.
Yeah.
You're not far off. So dogs and cats don't typically pass the mirror test, although they do react to their reflection. But it's thought to be similar to like a human neurological condition where individuals like can't recognize their own faces.
Wow.
But what's really remarkable is that dolphins, killer whales, elephants, certain magpies, and even a type of fish called the cleaner wrasse have shown evidence of passing the mirror test.
Hold on. A fish recognizes itself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it challenges like what we assume about like which animals have like higher cognitive abilities.
Exactly.
Well, it does.
So we've got the mirror test, which focuses on self-recognition.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Well, there's also the maze test.
Okay.
This is a classic one. So this one's all about problem solving and spatial reasoning.
Got it.
So you basically put an animal in a maze and you see how quickly it can find the reward.
Okay.
Usually like some tasty treat or something that motivates it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine it's more to it than just remembering the path.
You're right. Research has shown that actually like with rats, any type of brain damage, regardless of where it occurs, impacts their maze solving ability.
Wow.
Yeah. So it suggests that navigating a maze actually requires like a bunch of different cognitive skills.
Right.
Not just memory.
It's about trying new things and like adapting to a changing environment.
Yeah. Yeah, just like in life or our careers, right? You gotta solve that maze.
You gotta be able to pivot.
Yeah.
Okay, so are there any species that really excel at mazes?
Well, all vertebrates can solve mazes to some degree.
Okay.
But some are like remarkably efficient.
Okay.
Like ants, for example. They are incredible maze solvers.
How do they do that?
They use scent trails to navigate.
Okay.
So they create like little breadcrumb trails.
Oh, so that's how they don't hit dead ends.
Exactly. And they can retrace their steps.
That's so smart.
It is smart.
Okay, but didn't you mention something about a non-animal that can solve mazes?
Here's where things get really wild.
Okay.
Slime molts.
Yeah.
Which are neither plants nor animals. They can actually solve mazes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How?
So they do this by spreading their bodies.
Okay.
And finding the shortest path between food sources.
So something without a brain can solve a maze.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's a perfect example of how intelligence can show up in really unexpected ways.
Yeah.
Slime molds, they don't have brains in like the traditional sense.
Right.
But they still show this like crazy problem-solving behavior.
Wow.
It really challenges like what we think of as intelligence.
Yeah.
It suggests that it might exist in forms that we're only beginning to understand.
I mean, it makes you wonder, like, what else is out there that we haven't even discovered yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the mirror and maze test.
Uh-huh.
Are there any other, like, indicators of intelligence?
Totally, like learning ability. Like how quickly can a species learn and follow commands?
Okay.
You know, dogs and dolphins.
Yeah.
They're really good at this.
Right.
Probably because they're so social.
Right.
And then memory.
Yeah.
Long-term memory especially. That's a good indicator of intelligence in humans and animals.
So cool. So we've established that brain size isn't everything.
Yeah.
We've talked about the mirror test and the maze test, and some other indicators.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear about, like, specific species
Okay, let's do it.
that are really smart.
Let's get to it.
Where do we start?
Well, how about a creature that might surprise you? The octopus.
Octopuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think of them as like those squirmy things in the ocean.
They are those squirmy things, but
Yeah.
their intelligence is really remarkable, especially considering that they're invertebrates.
Okay.
So they have like a distributed nervous system.
Uh-huh.
So they have neurons that are spread throughout their bodies,
Okay.
including their arms.
Wow.
And in total, they have about as many neurons as a dog.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So what kind of, like, brainy feats can they pull off?
Well, one of the most impressive things
Yeah.
is their problem-solving ability.
Right.
Like, researchers have seen them opening jars from the inside.
What? Yeah. I know.
That's crazy.
It's a task that requires, like, dexterity, planning, and understanding of, like, how the jar works.
It's insane.
I know.
They're like tiny little engineers.
They're amazing.
Okay.
Let's move on to land
Okay.
and talk about the African elephant,
Okay.
known for their incredible memory,
Uh-huh.
complex social structure,
Yeah.
and really advanced communication skills.
I've always thought that elephants were really smart.
Yeah.
Like, they seem to really understand.
They do, like, their environment and each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, you're right. They can communicate using a variety of sounds, postures, and gestures.
Right.
And they can remember individuals and locations for years.
That's crazy.
But what's really remarkable is their empathy
Okay.
and awareness of death. So they've been observed, like, exhibiting behaviors that suggest that they understand the feelings of others. And they'll even grieve for their dead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they'll gather around a deceased elephant and touch its body with their trunks.
Oh,
And
yeah.
sometimes they'll even cover it with leaves and branches.
That's amazing.
It really is.
But also really sad.
It is. It's a little bit heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it does suggest a level of emotional intelligence that we don't often see
Right.
in other animals.
Okay. So who's next?
Let's talk about rats.
Rats.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they may not be the most glamorous creatures.
Yeah, I usually think of them as pests.
I know, right?
Not really like geniuses.
But their intelligence is undeniable.
Okay, I'm willing to hear you out.
Okay.
What makes rats so smart?
Well, they're one of the few animals that thrive in human environments.
It's true.
Which says a lot about their adaptability and intelligence.
Yeah, they're really resourceful.
Yeah, they are.
And they're good at
Yeah.
learning.
They are.
Like, I've seen them do tricks and stuff.
Yeah, so rats, unlike most animals, they can learn not only from their own experiences, but also from watching others.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
example, if one rat sees another rat get caught in a trap,
Yeah.
the observer will avoid that trap in the future.
Wow.
It's a very sophisticated level of cognitive processing and social learning.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, you've changed my mind about rats.
Good.
They are pretty smart.
They are.
All right, so what other animal geniuses do we have?
Let's talk about dogs,
Okay.
specifically border collies.
Oh, yeah.
They're widely considered the smartest dog breed.
Border collies are amazing.
They are.
I've seen them herding sheep, and it's like
I know.
they can read minds.
Yeah, their herding abilities are like a true testament to their intelligence
Right.
and trainability.
Yeah.
Border collies can understand over 250 commands,
Wow.
which is more than a 3-year-old human child.
What?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it is.
Okay.
So their intelligence makes them like exceptional working dogs.
Right.
They're really good at herding,
Yeah.
agility, search and rescue, and even therapy work.
Yeah, it's like they were born to learn and work alongside us.
They truly were.
Amazing. Okay, what about birds?
Okay, let's talk about birds.
Okay.
Prepare to be amazed by the African gray parrot.
Ooh.
These guys are renowned for their ability to mimic human speech and their super remarkable cognitive abilities.
I know that parrots can talk, but like, how smart can they really be?
Right. Is it just mimicry or is it something more?
Yeah.
Well, one particularly famous African gray parrot named Alex showed us just how intelligent these birds can be.
Okay.
So Alex could say over 100 words.
Wow.
He could hold basic conversations. And he even understood the concept of zero.
No way.
Yeah, he could identify objects by their color, their shape, and material. And he could even solve simple math problems.
That's crazy.
I know. So he wasn't just repeating phrases. He was actually using language.
To communicate.
Yeah, to communicate his thoughts and understanding of the world.
That's incredible.
And there's this really cute story that illustrates his true understanding.
Okay.
So when he first saw an apple, he combined the words banana and cherry to create the word bannery.
Bannery.
Yeah.
Based on the apple's taste and appearance.
Oh.
Yeah, so that shows his ability to like form new concepts.
Wow.
And communicate them using language.
Yeah, he wasn't just mimicking.
No.
That's really cool. Okay, I'm impressed by parrots.
Good.
All right, what other birds are really smart?
Okay, let's meet the crow.
Crows.
Yeah, a bird known for its exceptional problem-solving skills.
Yeah.
And impressive use of tools.
Well, like, I've heard that story about the crow and the pitcher.
Is that real?
It is. They really do that.
Whoa. I thought that was just like a made-up story.
Nope. It's a real-life example of crow intelligence.
That's so cool.
They've also been observed using cars to crack nuts.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. They figured out?
And they can turn on faucets to get a drink.
Wow.
And even fashion tools from like twigs and leaves to get insects out of hard-to-reach places.
So they're like little engineers.
They are?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, let's go back to the ocean.
Okay.
And meet the bottlenose dolphin.
Dolphins.
Yes.
I love dolphins. They're so playful and intelligent.
Yeah, they have this complex communication system.
Yeah.
And an impressive level of self-awareness.
Yeah. What makes them so smart?
Well, they have this sophisticated vocal communication system.
Right.
With whistles, clicks, and squeaks that all mean different things.
Right.
And they can even recognize themselves in a mirror.
Really?
Yeah, a clear sign of self-awareness. But here's a really cool fact.
Okay.
Dolphins have names.
Wait, what? They have names?
They do.
Like they call each other by name?
Exactly. So young dolphins, they'll develop these signature whistles that act as their individual names.
So cool.
And they actually introduce themselves to other dolphins using these whistles.
That's incredible.
It really is. It's a level of social complexity that we don't really see that often in the animal kingdom.
That's amazing.
Oh.
Okay, who else is on the list?
Prepare to meet the gorilla.
Gorillas.
Yeah, a gentle giant with remarkable intelligence and a surprising genetic closeness to humans.
Okay, I thought gorillas didn't pass the mirror test.
That's true. They don't typically recognize themselves in the mirror.
Right.
But their DNA is 92 to 98% identical to ours.
Wow.
And there have been gorillas, like the famous Koko,
Okay.
who have shown extraordinary cognitive abilities.
Tell me about Koko.
Okay, so Koko was a gorilla who learned over 1,000 signs.
Wow.
From American Sign Language.
That's a lot.
And she understood around 2,000 spoken English words.
Really?
Yeah, so she could express her thoughts, feelings, and desires using sign language, and she even showed a sense of humor.
That's incredible.
It is.
Okay, so gorillas are a lot more than just big and strong.
Totally.
They're really intelligent.
They are.
Okay, who is the last contender in this animal intelligence showdown?
Get ready to meet the bonobo.
Bonobos?
Yeah, the closest living relative to humans.
Okay.
And a species with astonishing intellectual abilities.
Bonobos. I admit I don't know much about them.
Okay, well, they're incredibly rare and endangered.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're only found in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Okay.
And they share about 98.7% of their DNA with humans.
Wow.
Which makes them even more closely related to us than chimpanzees.
Really?
And their cognitive abilities are truly remarkable.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of things can they do?
Well, there's this renowned primatologist named Sue Savage-Rumbaugh.
Okay.
She spent decades studying bonobos.
Yeah.
And she's made some really groundbreaking discoveries about their language abilities.
Okay.
So she taught 2 bonobos, Kanzi and Panbanisha, to communicate using a keyboard with lexicograms, which are symbols that represent words.
So they were basically typing?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So they could express their wants and needs, describe objects and events, and even talk about things that weren't present.
Wow.
Which suggests an ability to conceptualize.
Right.
And maybe even imagine.
So you're saying that they might be able to lie.
It's possible.
Wow.
Yeah. The ability to conceptualize and describe something that isn't real is a key part of human language.
Yeah.
And it's closely tied to the ability to deceive.
That's heavy stuff.
It is.
So they weren't just mimicking human language, they were actually using it.
Exactly. And there's a key difference between signals and language.
Yeah.
So signals are direct and unambiguous, like a warning call.
Right.
That means danger. But language allows for more complex and abstract communication.
So they were actually using language.
Yeah, it seems that way.
That's incredible.
It is.
Okay, so besides language, what else makes them so special?
Unlike most wild animals, bonobos aren't afraid of fire.
What?
Yeah, they've even been seen using lighters.
Really?
Yeah, to start fires.
What?
And even cooking their food.
Wow, bonobos using fire. That's impressive, but also a little scary.
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
But it does suggest an understanding and control over their environment.
Right.
That's pretty rare in other species.
Okay, so bonobos are really challenging, like what I thought it meant to be intelligent.
They are.
Wow.
And the more we learn about bonobos and other intelligent animals, the more we have to really think about our place in the world.
I completely agree. This whole deep dive has really made me rethink my relationship with the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
It's been really cool to learn about all these different species.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other amazing abilities are out there?
I don't know, but I'm sure there's a whole universe of animal intelligence out there.
Right.
And we've only just begun to explore it.
It's amazing to think about all the different ways that intelligence shows up in the animal world.
Yeah, and it's kind of mind-blowing when you think about how similar some of these animals are to us.
Especially like the great apes.
Right, exactly. Their capacity for language and empathy and even tool use.
Right.
It really makes you think about how we treat them.
It does. I mean, if they're so close to us in intelligence, where do we even draw the line?
Yeah, it's a huge question, and it's something that people are grappling with all over the world.
Yeah. Are there any like real world examples of this?
Actually, yeah. In 2007, Spain passed this really interesting law called the Great Ape Personality Act.
Wow. What's that?
Basically, it recognizes great apes as having personhood.
Really?
Yeah, and it gives them like basic rights, like the right to life, liberty, and protection from torture.
Wow.
Pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, it sounds like we're finally starting to recognize that other species deserve respect.
I think so. It's a slow process, but we're getting there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so back to bonobos for a second.
Yeah.
If they're so close to us in intelligence, could they be like the next step in evolution?
Ooh, that is a really interesting question.
It really makes you think.
It does, and it also makes you think about how our relationship with animals has changed over time.
Right, like how we used to treat them compared to how we treat them now.
Exactly. Did you know that ancient Chinese texts actually describe ape meat as a delicacy?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of disturbing.
I know, it's kind of shocking to think about now, but it just goes to show how much our views have evolved.
Totally. This whole deep dive has been mind-blowing.
It has been really fascinating.
I'm amazed by all these different animals and their intelligence.
Me too. And who knows what other amazing abilities are out there, just waiting to be discovered.
So to all of our listeners out there, I encourage you to keep learning about the amazing world of animal intelligence.
Absolutely.
There's so much more to explore.
Keep those minds curious.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
We'll see you next time.